And so the short piece of the testimony from past is I grew up with no hope. I grew up in a trauma-filled family. There was no faith. There was really not a lot of adult presence. There was just nothing. Life was pretty much obliterated. And the thing is you grow up thinking that you're a zero, that you're nothing, that you have nothing to give, that people have just always taken from you. And that was your whole life. And so fast forward to now, there are times when that still comes back to me like, you're just not enough. You're still a zero sometimes, Stace, but the great thing is that God doesn't fail you. And I know when Sean was speaking, it was like, he's always there for us. And so, and people in our lives, they're walking alongside of us. And that's the beauty of God. He gives us all to each other and to help us. And God is just awesome that way. He's done so many great and mighty things in my life. He's a God of healing. He is a God of hope. And there is absolutely nothing you can't do in this life. And so God took this person, he took me, and he brought me, I'm going to fast forward to 7 years ago, when I became acquainted with Donna. And I was a stranger, and I had like given up God for like 15 years, because there was a traumatic event that happened to one of my children. And I was done with God. I was like, forget it. I don't want you. I don't want anything from you. And I literally turned my life against him. And I lived in that. And it was just emotional, anxiety, stress. That was who I was. There was just not even a thread of joy. I mean, of course, there was joy. You know, when my kids were born, joy. They pretty much saved me at that point. But God just doesn't fail us. And I even asked Dawn, I said, do you think Jesus would take me back? And I really didn't think that he would, because I felt that bad about myself. And she's like, of course. And we hear in the songs, God hasn't failed us yet. And one of the things that started to turn my life around was when Donna said, God's got you. And you know, I really believe it now. And knowing that he's got me, it means I can climb the mountain. I can work through all this stuff in life. And God is just so, so good. And I'm getting ready to get a new knee here in June. I broke my knee 18 years ago. So I've just been in pain. Physical pain, and so then your pain attaches to your emotional pain, and you're pretty much a wreck. And God has showed up big, and a few years ago, I had like 6 accounts with St. Charles, $10,000 in debt, and I just wrote them a letter one day, and they gave me a 100% scholarship, and that's pretty much unheard of. They did away with it. So then I wanted this surgery all this time, and so I was like excited. Then I was like, oh man, I'm really scared. I'm scared. And it's like, I had to be reminded, where's your faith? Where's your trust? You know? God's not going to let you go. And that's pretty much been one of my big lessons in life is, he's still here. He's still beside you. No matter how much you've been beat down in life, because I think we all get to that place sometimes. We've been beat down. But God is not ever going to leave us. And I asked God last night, and I forgot my phone. So I'm going to just walk to my phone, because I have a scripture to read. Because there must be, 27,000 scriptures on trust. And so I went to bed, and I was like, okay, God, can you at least give me one? So, and it's one, I was just like, Proverbs 3. I mean, it's like we all know it. Trust in the Lord your God with all your heart. Don't depend on your own understanding. You know, it's like, so I've said that 1,000 times probably in the last 7 years, but it's like, do I really get it? And I wanted to read a piece that says, "My child, never forget the things I've taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfying. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with both God and people, and you will earn a good reputation." Or sometimes it says a good name. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones." So that totally spoke to me this morning. And so I just want to say there is hope, there's trust, and you can live this great life, no matter where you've come from, because He's with us past, present, and future. He's never going to fail you. He's not going to ever forget you. But there really is a chance for this super great life, and I lived that today. And I was reminded recently in my stress and anxiety of this whole surgery thing, like, whoa, He's not leaving you, Stace. You know, so it was a great reminder, and the people that care about you will remind you of things. So I'm just so happy to be here. I'm super thankful to be alive, because there was a time that I didn't want to be here. And yeah, the next chapter, I think we all have that next chapter, and it's going to be a good one. Thank you.
That's exciting.